Real YouTubists fight you Johto Pokemon. None of these Pokemon are safe from my fists. Hello, it's me. You're probably wondering, what are you doing back here, Wolf? Why did you show your face around these parts again? And I'm here because the people have spoken, and the people have asked for a long time for me to follow up my original tier list video, which you can see on the screen here. That worked exactly as I was hoping it would. Which you can see on the screen there. And they wanted to follow up. So I originally, a while ago, ranked every Pokemon I could beat in a fight, Kanto edition, and the video did quite well. The video did quite well, and people have been asking for follow-up for a long time, so I thought I would give the people what they wanted. Now, we should establish some ground rules here. Now, I'm not allowed to bring any weapons into this fight, so obviously I can't have anything violent, I can't have anything like, that I wouldn't, just have on me regularly, and I don't carry weapons around, obviously, so just basically the biggest weapons I have are my brain, and then my fists. I showed this to one of my friends. Actually, I think he just watched the original one, and his girlfriend became very upset with me because I had not specified any of my abilities, any of kind of my base stats or anything like that. So for this video, I will also not be doing that. So let's get started. Oh, also last time I think I was pretty generous to the Pokemon, and I've since realized that I am for lack of a better word, I am an absolute monster, and really no creature is safe from my wrath. So this time we're going to be a little bit more realistic here. Chikarita, I think that this one is no contest. I feel like this thing is small. I could eat it. I'm vegetarian, kind of ethically on the border there, but I could definitely win in a fight. I feel like I love Chikarita. I think it's a great Pokemon. I think it's super cute. One of my favorite Pokemon. In a fight, no mercy. This thing's gone in an instant. Really, truly no contest. Bayleaf, it's a bit bigger. I think it's still my favorite, truthfully, but I don't think this thing is actually that strong. It has such a long and thin neck that I think if I really had to, we could have a lot less Bayleaf pretty soon. So I'm not really that worried about this. Meganium, I'm also putting in my favor. Meganium seems like a very gentle, very flower Pokemon. I don't know what happens if you rip the flower off of its main body. I hope I don't ever have to find out, because that sounds kind of violent, and that's not really my thing. But again, the neck is just elongated, and the longer the neck, the harder they fall. So this thing is not standing much of a chance. Cyndaquil, I think I was pretty cautious to fire Pokemon last time. I've since realized that I'm pretty much fireproof, so I'm not too worried about Cyndaquil here. It looks like one, I kicked a soccer ball pretty far. I'm pretty sure I could kick this thing into the sun if I wanted to. So I'm not really that worried about that. Koala is slightly bigger. I'm still putting it in my favor because, yeah, it's definitely bigger. It looks kind of like a ferret or a weasel. It definitely can shoot fire, but I'm not truthfully that worried about it. That being said, Typhlosion looks really scary, and I think it's definitely a losing matchup. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's completely unlikely, because I feel like you get close, you avoid the teeth. I think I could fight a bear, probably. In a 1 versus 1, I think I could probably handle a bear, and I don't know if, yes, Typhlosion is, fire creature, but it's not as big as a bear, and so I'm gonna put it in it's a losing matchup, but I think it's definitely doable. Totodile, this thing just bites. My cat bites. I'm really not worried about it. Croconaw, again, yeah, it's probably my favorite, right? I feel like I could definitely Croconaw. This thing can't be that big, right? For Alligator, on the other hand, looks almost like a kangaroo meets an alligator, and kangaroos are terrifying. I don't know if you all have ever seen a kangaroo in real life, but I have, and they're legitimately really scary. They're really muscular. It's really bizarre. But yeah, they're very, very, very powerful creatures, and this thing reminds me a lot of a kangaroo, and I do not mess around with those. I'm actually gonna go ahead and drop for Alligator even down another tier, because I'm really not, I would not want to fight this. Also, my mom is terrified of alligators, so I don't really want to deal with them. Furret and Sentret, these things, what are they gonna do? They're gonna slap me with their tail? The thing is, in order to attack, they're probably gonna have to get close, and then my lightning quick gamer reflexes are gonna instantly finish them off. So yeah, these things are not gonna hold up in a fight. There's quite a few Pokemon. This thing can fly, so I'm putting it in my favor because it probably has to come close. We also haven't talked about terrain or anything like that, but if we assume that eventually it has to land, when it lands, I just can make sure that I'm there, and then yeah, I think this is more like a battle of attrition, but yeah, I don't think that I don't really think I'm in danger of Hoot. However, the Superb Owl, if you're the regular viewer of this channel, I don't think there should be any doubt that the Superb Owl is probably the strongest Pokemon that comes out of Johto, so yeah, we're gonna put that in never. I really don't like bugs, personally. I think ladybugs are kind of cute, but yeah, these two are both very easy. They didn't even give this thing any base attack. I'm pretty sure my base attack is much higher than these two, so I'm really not worried about these little bugs. I feel like I could just smack them around pretty easily. Spiders are creepy. I'm gonna put these in even because it's not a question of can my body win, it's a question of can my mind. And Ariados is even scarier than Spinarak, so I'm gonna put that as a losing matchup because number one, I have no idea of the scale of Ariados, but I think that it is probably pretty big, and I don't it has that creepy horn, and it looks really venomous, so I don't really want to mess with this personally. Crobato, I think this is a losing matchup. like, okay, the thing about Crobat is it's very fast, right? And like, I know for a fact I can't keep up with its speed, but if it ever gets into close quarters to like bite or like slam into me, and it, like one of its wings gets injured in the process, I think that this becomes a relatively easy fight because like it has no mobility apart from its wings. So like a couple key weaknesses there. Actually, I'm putting it even. Actually, I think that I have a decent shot against Crobat. This thing is electricity, but like when I was a kid, I stuck my head in an electric socket and I shocked myself, so I'm not really that worried about it. This thing looks very sweet. I think I could smack it around pretty easily. Lantern. Here we go. Pichu. This is a baby. Should I beat this up? No. Could I beat this up? Absolutely. Same with this. Egg, I actually really like. Egg is like, I would eat Togepi. Like, I would definitely make a Togepi omelet. Togetic, also doesn't seem to do any damage. Like, I'm really not that worried about it. It does have a 4 times resistance to fighting, but I can just, yeah, smack it around anyway. Not too strong. Xatu, however, I'm gonna put it as even. Like, Xatu makes me uncomfortable. It can, like, see the future. It has, like, a place in VGC lore. I don't really want to mess around with Xatu. I think the question of would I beat Xatu in a fight is mostly a question of like would Xatu allow me to like win in a fight, if that makes sense. Mareep is a sheep. It's like an electric sheep. The thing about Mareep is that it's like its whole code is electrified. I don't know if I could. I think it's in my favor because I think like it should be okay, but I definitely think I could get electrocuted if I'm not careful. Flaffy, I'm putting down a tier and even. I don't think Flaffy is that scary, but I also don't think it's like inherently my matchup. Ranged fighters in general are gonna be tough for me because my only ranged attack is Yell. And that has a limit as well. Like, it has low PP because then my throat starts to hurt, so I have to watch out for that. Yeah. And then Ampharos, I think is very unlikely I can beat Ampharos. Like, this thing is big at number 1. It has, like, it's like a lighthouse Pokemon. Number 2, it has a lot of electricity. It's just, like, even Mareep is, like, I feel like I could lose to Mareep. I don't think my Flaffy matchup's that good, and then, like, yeah, I think Ampharos is really tough. Now, Blossom, on the other hand, this thing has no chance. Absolutely no chance. Meryl, same thing. I don't remember what kind of Pokemon this is supposed to be, but it's definitely not going to be a Pokemon for much longer, which runs into me. Azumarill is actually really strong. I'm still putting it in my favor because it's just so small, right? And I feel like I could definitely, like, slap it around a fair bit, but, yeah, I had to be a little bit careful. Sudowoodo, I think, is pretty unlikely that I could win. Actually, I'm putting it in even. I think I actually could beat it. It's slow as heck. It's not very, like, it's very physically durable, but, like, I don't know, like, there's definitely some things you could abuse. Like, you can knock it over, like, I don't know what happens if you pick the fake tree branches, like, or the fake, like, green things. It's slow, like, it's definitely a scary Pokemon, but I think dodging it is, like, manageable, and then if you can just dodge it for long enough, you can definitely wear it down. Politoed, I think it depends on if it's Drizzle or not. Like, I think that it's probably pretty even, and depending a lot on the moveset and stuff. Hoppip, I think I have no trouble with Hoppip. Same with, honestly, Skipple and Jumpluff, too. Like, I think that these are pretty straightforward. I don't really have too much to say about them. Yeah, I mean, like, they're not bad Pokemon by any means, but when they're facing off against, like, a bad matchup, like Wolfey, then I don't feel super good about them. Apom, kind of quick and quirky, but not very good here. Having 3 hands is not enough to deal with 1 Wolfglick. Sunkern, delicious. Sunflora, also delicious, not really worried about that. Yanma, I'm gonna put in my favor. Like, this thing is really fast and just becomes faster as the fight progresses, so, like, it could definitely be problematic, and it's also a ranged fighter a lot of the time. Like, it has a lot of ranged moves. Yeah. I'm gonna put Wooper in my favor. It's not guaranteed because it makes me, like, uncomfortable, and Quagsire I think is probably a losing matchup because, like, it just makes me scared. I don't think Espeon's in my... I think it's pretty unlikely to beat Espeon. Psychic powers and 2 tails is, like, pretty scary. But Umbreon, on the other hand, I think it could absolutely smack around. I think Umbreon is, like, not a problem at all for me. Same with Merker. Merker is so frail that, like, 1 or 2 good hits, and I feel like this thing is over. Slowking, I don't think I could beat Slowking. Very, like, it's slow, yes, but it's very, very, very scary. I don't think I can beat a Ghost type. I can't beat a Ghost type. Can we all agree there? Unknown I should always beat. This thing is very, very easy. Unless it's Hidden Power Anti-Wolfey type. Wobbuffet? I don't think I can beat Wobbuffet. I'm gonna say very unlikely because they could just safeguard every turn, but like if it just counters, I would lose no matter what, right? And all my attacks are physical. Most of my attacks are physical. It's just a guessing game, right? My HP isn't that high, so yeah. Giraffe, I think, is probably a losing matchup. Like, it has eyes on both of its, like, on its front and back, so there's no sneak attack. Actually, its legs are so frail, though. You get 1 good kick on the leg, and then, like, it's probably over. I think Pineco doesn't always win because, like, it can't move very well, so I can just pick it up and throw it, and then the fight's over. Fortress, on the other hand, I don't think I could throw, so I'm putting it as a... I think that it's extreme. I don't think I could ever beat Fortress, truthfully. I don't see way, because, like, I can't really wear it down without hurting myself. So I don't think I could beat Fortress. Dunsparce, I think, is probably my favorite. Like, I think it's pretty heavily favored for me. Like, it's very, like, it's not super fast. It's, like, it doesn't hit very hard. Like, I don't know. I'm not worried about Dunsparce, personally. Gligar, I think, is probably even. Like, it's kind of durable, but, like, yeah, it might not even be my favorite, especially if it has poison moves. Like, I probably would just get messed up. But I think I could do it. It's just unlikely. I don't think I can touch Steelix. Snubble, I think, isn't my favorite. Gramble, I'm putting even. It depends on if we're talking about normal type or fairy type Gramble, but like that's a big dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna put losing matchup Quillfish. I don't know how I could touch Quillfish without hurting myself or getting poisoned, even like if it just sat there. Caesar, I think, is basically never. I don't think I can beat Caesar. Like, it's super fast, it's really hard, and then it's steel. Like, steel types are just so hard for me. Shuckle, I think I could throw, so I'm gonna put in the even category. Heracross, I think it's a losing matchup. Like, I think the thing about Heracross is it's relatively, like, it looks like it'd be relatively fast. I think if we trade blows, then like I come out on the losing end of that. Do we all agree there? I think we should all agree there. So yeah, so that's Heracross. There's actually 2 Sneasels here. I think they're both in my favor. Personally, I'm not too worried about Sneasel. Like, it doesn't hit that hard, and it's really frail. One good punch, it is probably in trouble. Little Bear, I already said I could beat a bear, so that's not too big of a deal. Yeah, I'm not really worried about Teddy Ursa. Ursaring's a big bear, though. Like, I think I'm probably even to losing matchup. I'd probably losing matchup versus Ursaring. It has a big target, like, in the center of its body, though, so maybe I could do it. I couldn't beat Slugma or Macargo. Without weapons or anything, like, it's just never. I could definitely always beat Swinub, though. This thing is very, very, very small. Piloswine, I'm going to put even. Like, I don't really know what to make of Piloswine, but I think that, like, it's very durable, but also it's, like, relatively slow. I think I have a pretty good chance of handling it. Corsola, I think Corsola's probably a losing matchup. I think it's even. I could throw it. If I could throw it, it's even. Remoraid, I should always beat. Octillery, I think, is very unlikely. Like, this thing, like, I'm going to put it in a losing matchup. Because, like, this thing absolutely smashes me if it hits me, but if I could dodge the attacks, then, like, I think I have a good chance because it's not that bulky. I don't think I can ever beat Delibird. Mantine, I think it's a losing matchup. I don't really understand Mantine physics. If we assume that we're not, like, I know Mantine can exist out of the water. If it's in the water, I'd never win, but if we're out of the water, I think maybe. Skarmory, I couldn't throw. I don't think I could ever beat Skarmory. Houndour, I could definitely beat. I could absolutely beat Houndour. Houndoom, however, I think it's a losing matchup. I kind of feel like Houndoom and Typhlosion are similar things, where, like, they're relatively big, relatively durable, and then, like, they actually, like, probably hit really hard, and they're also relatively fast. So, like, it's definitely not in my favor, but, like, they're not super bulky. So if I somehow manage to gain an advantage, I think I could win. I think Kingdra is very unlikely. This thing is terrifying as a mon. It's pretty bulky. Like, it can take a couple hits, and if it hits me once, I'm probably done. Now, Fanfi. Now, this is a winning matchup if I've ever seen one. Donphan. What does Donphan do? I think Donphan's too bulky for me. I honestly don't think I could beat Donphan. Like, it's so bulky, and, like, I don't think I could wear it down without taking big hits in return. Porygon 2, I think, is very unlikely as well. This thing is just, like, it can recover. It's just computer code. Like, I don't really get it. It makes me uncomfortable. This is just a regular deer. I could probably beat a regular deer. Smeargle, I should always win against. No matter what they do, I should always win against Smeargle. Tyrogue is a little baby. Bye-bye. Hitmontop is a trained fighter. I think that's a losing matchup. The babies I always beat. I'm not worried about any of the babies. Like, what you have to understand is that I kick harder than I punch, presumably. I don't normally kick or punch anybody or anything, but presumably my legs should be stronger than my hands, so, yeah. This is just a cow. Cows are actually really strong. I don't think I ever beat cows. Blissey I should always win against. This thing doesn't do any damage, and it's not physically bulky. Can I beat Raikou? I couldn't beat Entei for sure. I don't think I beat Suicune either. I think I might be able to beat Raikou, though. Larvitar, it's my favor. Like, I can throw it. Pupitar, I'm going to put it even. I might be able to throw it. And then Tyranitar, I think I'd never beat because I can't throw it. I don't think I could beat Lugia or Ho, but Celebi, I'm pretty sure I would just eat. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, Celebi's pretty easy. It could time travel, but, like, time travel's for cowards. So that's my final list. I think this is really accurate. I think this is a perfect representation of every Pokemon I could beat in a fight. So let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below if you'd like to see this for Gen 3. But, yeah, until next time, goodbye.